Welcome to Before and After Christ, a journey through the sacred narrative of Scripture. Here, we do not rush the story. We walk through it. We listen. We reflect. Because before we understand redemption, we must understand origin. Before we celebrate the cross, we must understand the human heart. This is more than history. This is identity. This is before and after Christ. In the previous episode, we witnessed the fall of Babel. Humanity tried to reach heaven through pride. The result was confusion and dispersion. Now the story continues. After the scattering, after the broken languages, after ambition collapsed under its own weight, God begins something new. Not through a crowd, not through a nation, but through one man. Today's episode is a continuation of that story. And at the end of this message, there will be a reflection about Abraham's journey and what it means for us today. I invite you to stay until the end and share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters in this journey. Now let us walk into Genesis chapter 12. The earth is divided. Nations are forming. Humanity is spreading across the world. And in a city called Ur of the Chaldeans, a man named Abram lives an ordinary life. He is not described as a king, not introduced as a prophet, not presented as extraordinary. He is simply living. And then God speaks. Go from your country, from your people, from your father's household, to the land I will show you. No map, no timeline, no explanation, just a command. Faith often begins with a sentence that disrupts stability. Abram is 75 years old. He has roots, history, security, and God asks him to leave it all. Because faith is not built in comfort, it is built in movement. Then comes the promise. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. In Babel, humanity said, let us make a name for ourselves. Here, God says, I will make your name great. The difference is everything. Pride seizes. Faith receives. Pride climbs. Faith follows. God continues, I will bless those who bless you. And whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. This is not a small promise. It is global. It is generational. It is eternal. Through one man, God intends to bless the world. Scripture records something astonishing in its simplicity. So Abram went. No recorded argument. No visible hesitation. No detailed negotiation. He went. Faith is sometimes quiet. It does not always shout. It simply moves. Abram leaves familiarity. He leaves structure. He leaves predictability. He walks toward a land he has never seen, trusting a voice he cannot see. Time passes. The promise remains unfulfilled. Abram has no child, no heir, no visible evidence that a nation will come from him. Then God brings him outside. Look up at the sky. Count the stars, if indeed you can count them. So shall your offspring be. Imagine that moment. An aging man, standing under an endless sky, listening to a promise that contradicts his reality. And yet Scripture says, Abram believed the Lord. Faith is not denial of difficulty. It is confidence in the one who speaks. God shifts Abram's gaze upward. Because perspective changes when you look at the stars. You remember how small you are, and how faithful God has been. Those stars become more than lights in the sky. They become symbols of covenant, symbols of continuity, symbols of a promise that stretches beyond one lifetime. Every place Abram settles, he builds an altar. Not a tower. An altar. An altar does not reach upward to prove something. It kneels downward in surrender. Abram does not build monuments to his own name. He builds spaces for worship. The contrast with Babel is unmistakable. Babel built upward in defiance. Abram builds downward in devotion. The tower was about visibility. The altar is about intimacy. This promise does not end with Abram. It moves through Isaac, through Jacob, through generations. It survives famine, exile, slavery, kings and kingdoms. It becomes a nation. And centuries later, from that lineage comes Jesus. The blessing promised under the stars finds its fulfillment at the cross. God did not abandon humanity after Babel. He began redemption through covenant, not through ambition, but through obedience. Abram was not perfect. He doubted. He feared. He tried to help God fulfill the promise through his own strength. But the story of Abraham is not about flawless faith. It is about persistent trust. He kept walking, even when the promise felt distant, even when the silence felt long, even when circumstances contradicted hope. Faith is not the absence of struggle. It is the decision to continue. After Babel, humanity was scattered. In Genesis chapter 12, redemption begins quietly, not with noise, not with spectacle, but with obedience. One man, one step, one promise, under an infinite sky. The story of Abraham reminds us, God does not need crowds to begin transformation. He needs surrender. He needs trust. He needs a willing heart. This is before and after Christ, where towers fall, but promises endure. Before we end, let us reflect. Where is God asking you to go? What comfort is He asking you to leave? What promise feels impossible in your life right now? Abraham walked without seeing the destination. He believed before holding the fulfillment. Maybe faith for you today is not understanding everything. Maybe it is simply taking the next step. Are you building towers of control or altars of surrender? I would love to hear your thoughts. What part of Abraham's journey speaks most to you? Share your reflection in the comments. Let us walk this journey together.